course, it was for no money. I was riding number 1 for a while, and then I got blown out in the first round of the playoffs. I'm like, oh, that's good. So maybe it's good we didn't use any money.
Yeah, exactly.
But
you see, you just don't care, folks, and you will succeed.
It's more about bragging rights.
Exactly.
We have a black screen on Twitch. I'm being told
we're good now.
You're good now.
Yes, we are good now. It was messing with me because Streamlard does that times, but we're good now.
Like I said, single shots, buddy. Single shots.
We're okay. We're okay now.
Get us pretty faces up and close and
I
personal.
got you.
Got a lot to get to. Football because Combine was over the weekend. We'll talk winners and losers of the Combine. Stories coming out about free agency. Stories coming out about franchise tags. I think we should probably hit the franchise tag first, and then in the last segment, because we're only going. Wow, my mic just went completely
Sorry.
dark on you.
I think
dude.
it's just the mic's
What are you
thinking.
doing to me,
I
man?
keep having to adjust you. For some reason, you're coming in hot.
It's because I'm a loud ass voice.
But you're good. I think
I
you're
got big mouth.
good. Apparently, I found out if you're peaking on this roadcaster, it just turns
Just
red. So I
takes
thought
you
you were
off.
muted for a second.
Oh.
But I think we're.
I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room. So what's happening, Andrew?
What do you mean? What's happening?
Bengals, huh?
Yeah. What
Trying
do you,
to piss off somebody else again, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mine. They're all mine. All mine. No one goes anywhere.
Ian Rappaport just broke the news, about 15 minutes ago, I would say.
More or less.
Yeah.
T. Higgins has now been franchise tagged for the second year in a row by the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, God, I hope
$26 million.
I hope Jamar Chase doesn't get his extension.
Well, they want to extend both of them.
It just sounds like they're not close on an extension.
No, that's the only problem.
the
Because
rumors
Jamar
around.
wants a penny more than Jefferson.
Right. Well, and the other problem is that Mike Brown is cheap. He's a cheap owner, and he always has been. Now, obviously, he's talking more about spending, which is nice, but don't talk about it. Show us. Like, let's make a deal. Because the Jamar Chase thing should have been done before the season. The T. Higgins thing should be done by this time, but because now you've waited on both of them, you've put yourself in an impossible situation. It almost feels like where you're going to be able to sign both of them. And T. Higgins of course, he's not going to be happy about this.
Apparently, they did say that this was intended to continue to work toward a long-term deal in Cincinnati. But
Right.
again, this has been
And Tyler?
this has been the issue for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
Tyler,
exactly.
what was T. Higgins' response?
Oh, he just he posted a tweet. Just he said tag.
Yeah.
Period.
So
Not good.
yeah. Not a good look at all.
No, it's not looking good. I mean,
Not
to tag
good
him for
at
the second year in a
all.
row, and this is not what he wants. He knows his worth, and
Right.
any other team in this league would be crawling to get him.
Well, you want to get a long-term deal done for him, okay, fine. But again, you should have gotten one done for Jamar Chase now, restructured your deal with Joe Burrow at this point in time in the offseason. And then by this point, you could go to T. Higgins and say, what are you looking for? Let's restructure. Let's get your contract out. Let's figure it out. Let's backload the thing. So then this way you can still make your money. That's how I would have played it. But again, I'm not in charge because why would you hire smart people to do great things for you? So I understand what the Bengals are trying to do, but you're now between a rock and a hard place. You're going to probably still have to choose. And then T. Higgins is going to walk away angry and upset, and you're going to get nothing for him. Where you could have traded and maybe gotten draft picks for him to help you long term. Now you kind of have to go, well, no, if this happens within so far we get.
That window's closing fast for them,
Right.
too.
It is.
Unless they think by franchise tagging him, they're like, well, somebody will give us a first round for him, or surely give us some draft picks for him.
If I was the Bills, I'd give him a first-round draft pick for him.
If I were the Chargers, I'd do it too.
Yeah.
Either of those teams. I mean,
Because
they
they're going to
could-
probably take a receiver in the first round or somebody that they're
Mhm.
going to catch up with, tight end or something.
and
So
Buffalo has been like that name floated around as like the biggest destination for T. Higgins.
all right.
But I mean, I expected that. I didn't expect them to tag them
Well,
again.
It was the Commanders until the Commanders go, hey, Debo, you want to come and play here?
Yeah, that one dropped. Of course, right
I
when I
think-
was finishing up doing updates.
I still feel like San Francisco was like, please take him. He's so much money, and he's not playing well.
Well, look, let's be real with that one. With all the weapons that they have, like, you're gonna have a drop off.
Sure, yeah.
So
I just don't know how good those other weapons are yet. Like, we don't know what Ricky Pearsall is and Juwan Jennings.
Well, no, I'm even talking last year. Like,
Yeah.
the drop off was because Purdy was clicking with other dudes,
Right.
and just.
Right.
So I think this is a win-win because now you've got your long ball guy and you've got your guy with Debo.
And
Sure.
you only cost a 5th round pick.
And
Which is insane.
Well, yeah, this is a 1-year test, then. If it doesn't, yeah,
you're here talking about this and the moves that were made, and there's one now that really has solidified the carousel that we kind of touched on last week. Stafford going back to the Rams, I don't think anybody saw.
I feel like they had to have been leveraging the Rodgers thing to get that thing done. Because where else was Stafford going to? I mean, he had options, don't get me wrong.
He was going to the Giants. If he doesn't sign with the Rams, they trade him to the Giants.
That's what it felt
That
like.
was the most,
I mean, they were the most interested.
Yeah.
But they're also desperate.
Desperate enough to call Aaron Rodgers and go, "Hey, buddy,
Why?
want to play 2 years for us?"
Did they not see the New York Times back page that said, like, do not do this?
Someone's going to
I've got it. I posed a question to Tyler. Was it Nick? I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
Do you put all the blame on Aaron Rodgers, though, for what the Jets were last year? No. That line was atrocious.
Of course.
I think it's just
and
more.
a 40-year-old man coming off a torn Achilles isn't going to be mobile.
Right.
Like,
And getting a 36-year-old tackle at the end of his career,
Right.
and another guy who in his prime but is injury prone, and then you have to throw a rookie in there and be like, save us. Like, it's
and he did all right.
he finished strong.
There was a
For most
bunch
part.
of different issues with that. In
Right.
general. And like you said, like you can't have a guy a 40-year-old man who just ruptured his Achilles the
I'll
year before.
I'll guarantee you Malik Neighbors is like, hell yes, bring him.
See, but that's the thing. Like, you can be hyped up about it now, but down the line, is he going to be like? Because we saw that with Garrett Wilson. He was hyped for it, and then at the end, he was kind of like, he just seemed like he wasn't having fun anymore with
That's, my thing is that you got to watch. I think the biggest issue is like not what he can do. Like he's still talented as hell, but what does he bring to that locker room? Because it sounds like he's a complete disaster in the locker room, and he's ruining franchises.
I think the comment needs to be made. You're like the Jets did. If you're going to come here, outside distractions have to be at a minimum. Have to be at a minimum, and you have to be willing to coach up whoever we draft in this draft, because we are taking a quarterback in this draft.
Well, you have. I mean, if you're taking Aaron Rodgers, you have to first round, second round, whatever you want to do. You have to say we're committed to getting the guy next, because you go down with an injury again. We need to have somebody,
right?
And you're not going to probably be playing much longer, so we need to have somebody ready in the wings to take over. But again, it's like you said though, Tyler. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get in that locker room and kind of pop with anybody. Like it didn't feel like he was with the Jets, even though I heard one commentator say it was all a lie. Aaron Glenn said that it was an unpopular opinion amongst people, and so because of that, everybody loved Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't mean everybody loved Aaron Rodgers. That just means that probably there were some people who were like, we don't have a quarterback now. What are we going to do?
And Aaron Glenn,
nobody.
Aaron Glenn is changing the culture in there. He like you said, just the first that was the first thing taste of it.
Yeah,
is telling Rodgers like, listen, if you're not going to be willing
to fly
a
kite.
Get away from the distractions.
If you aren't going to do what's necessary to make this team what it should and needs to be, then you need to go away.
Absolutely. Our guy King BMAC, real quick, he chimed in too. He said, assuming Cincy either gets a deal done with Higgins or at least drag this thing on through the year, where does that leave the Patriots? Because it seemed like it was a sure thing that Higgins was going to end up in New England before today.
I've heard multiple places that Higgins was going to land. So,
He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Chargers,
Tim-
Washington, Patriots, Buffalo.
to me, I think the Patriots are going to solve their issues in the draft,
I think
whether it's the first or the second round.
I think they're going to take that kid from Arizona.
It's
Yeah.
He's the best wide receiver. He's the biggest target. If not,
You didn't take him at 4 in the second round.
you
in
get
the first,
Really?
the fourth
That-
overall pick.
you-
Wow. Okay.
He's
get-
high rated.
you could
Yeah.
get Burden probably in the second.
You could get him, or you could trade down and get more picks. That's
Yeah.
what the Patriots have always done. Or you could spend and go get Chris Godwin. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
he's
available.
reliable. You know he can be the yards after catch guy. You'd give Drake May his number one go-to guy.
I'd like to see.
I'm
him
seeing
in an
everything in the
Atlanta
Patriots.
uniform
I know you.
personally.
I knew. I was like,
Well,
because
no.
I know the Falcons are looking for a receiver. If not the draft, they're going to look for
Let me ask.
options in free agency.
Let me.
so.
Because I asked you this,
Mhm.
and I brought up this scenario. Everybody's talking about. Well, now that this domino has fallen,
Right.
now it's they're talking about all the other dominoes.
Yeah.
This is what I proposed that the Atlanta Falcons should do.
Mhm.
You trade Kirk Cousins 2 firsts and maybe a third and a fourth for Myles Garrett.
I don't know if they would. It all depends on what they do with Watson. If they're going to cut him, then maybe. That's the only thing. Is
The weird
How
one-
much would they eat out of that contract if they cut
out of
him?
Watson's contract?
Yeah. I
They
mean, obviously.
probably have to. I mean, it's a guaranteed contract. They'd have to
Yeah.
take the whole cash.
Yeah,
So they'd
but
be,
you're
they'd be
gonna have
sunk
to.
kind of on
You're
that.
gonna have to eat it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, no matter what.
Because he's not. He retore that Achilles,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So he's almost undoubtedly not playing this year.
Well, tour, as some people are putting it. They don't. Some people think he's faking it.
Sure,
But whatever. Either way, like no one's trading for him.
Chocolate Starfish can do whatever the hell he
Exactly.
wants.
Yeah. Just
But the thing
Get
is with Kirk Cousins is if you're trading him, Cleveland's going to have to restructure the contract. Then he's going to have to agree to that to restructure the deal that they're taking from Atlanta.
I don't think he would mind that.
No, I don't think so either because he's getting a shot.
Yeah.
Because Atlanta at this point, you got to move forward with Penix Jr. and see what you have.
Do you know who I want Atlanta to get as their backup? Minshew.
Sure.
That's not. He'd be a solid
A
backup.
relatively decent backup quarterback.
Yeah.
If he has to play 4 to 5 games, he can guarantee at least 2 wins out of that 4 to 5 games.
He's a steady calming influence to the locker room. He's a good locker room guy in general. He's also a good clipboard guy, so you know he can maybe do some kind of teaching with Penix Jr. So there's a lot of upside.
Or
to
you
him.
just bring Stetson Bennett home. Let's go. Nah, I'm joking.
Bring him back.
Honestly, that would be such a cash grab for the Falcons. Just
Right.
to me, now that the Stafford thing hit, the carousel is now open. It sounds like the Giants are interested in Rodgers. And now it comes down to what are the Steelers going to do?
it sounds like they're favoring on Russell Wilson.
See, I heard.
I heard
Justin
From what I was hearing, but yeah, that's the thing. It started with Russell Wilson because he knew all the right people up in the front office, but now it feels like the tides are turning where they're going, and they might go to Justin Fields. But my question becomes, did you see enough with him to pay him a viable contract that you feel comfortable with? Because I feel like if you're going to do it, you pay him maybe the Baker Mayfield deal,
Mhm.
but are you going to then say we saw enough and justify paying him like $40 million a year? Because the Steelers are in a cap position themselves where they got to be careful.
To me, this is what you do. You sign Justin to a 2 to 3 year deal, third year being an option,
Okay.
and then you go out and draft either Jackson Dart or Quinn Ewers.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Because
No.
those two to me fit that system better than the two that everyone is talking
You
about.
would have to take him early, though, because last I saw now, Jackson Dart's rising up to the first round, and Quinn's going
So
into
they're-
the high mid-seconds.
They're
so-
saying somebody's probably going to trade into the first round to get him late first round.
Well, I've heard anything from Raiders trade back, get Jackson Dart, to Seahawks get him when he drops in the draft. Like that's kind of his window of where he could go in the first round.
Heir apparent to Geno then?
I think
I
the
would
guy
agree.
that takes over for Geno is kind of the thing, bringing quarterback competition for Geno.
because he's
Geno
getting
takes
old.
the back seat and
I-
he steps in.
I'll
He's
tell,
got the gun for it, and he had the receivers.
I'll tell you right now, I would not be upset if the Steelers went out and got Quinn Ewers.
No,
would not.
But now
that's-
what's going to be the deal with Sam Darnold? There's a lot of buzz of him going to Vegas.
No, I think
You think he stays?
I think the Vikings.
I don't know what the Vikings are going to
The
do.
Vikings might tag his ass.
I mean,
If you do, I would say then trade him to the Raiders and then get picks out
Well,
of
there
it.
was
Yeah.
there was a scenario on ESPN today where they were like
yeah, I heard about
McCarthy,
that. Yeah.
a couple first round draft picks to Cleveland for Myles Garrett.
Basically, they get their future quarterback, and Minnesota gets their top edge rusher to help them push for the Super Bowl.
is Minnesota really not?
McCarthy's an
Takes-
unknown commodity.
I mean, yeah, he hasn't obviously shown anything on the on the field in the NFL.
Well, he had a setback on his injury too. Like
That's right, yeah.
He was working out and he had a
He's
setback. So
chugging beers with Hunter.
So then, yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, they
if
They might
Cleveland, if
try to
Cleveland's
keep-
down for it, sure. But that's the only thing is they're the only team that I'm like, what the heck are they do? Because everything
Sign
in this
Justin Tucker.
Sure.
bring them all together.
Everything under the sun says to me that they should take a quarterback. But if they're serious about we're going to stay with Deshaun Watson, well, then you're taking Abdul Carter or the edge rusher then. Unless you
I
really-
want to
They're
give
not.
Will
Right.
Levis one more year to see if he can right his issues from last year. Are you going to deny that the quarterback class next year isn't way better than this?
Well, and next year you got three guys at the top of the list right now that I don't know how much I agree with, but it's Klubnik, it's Manning, and it's now Nussmeier that are all getting like the top talk of the town.
You're forgetting about.
Well, yes, and Aller's in there too, but
Don't forget Carson Beck.
I'm saying
Thank
what
you,
Don't
sir.
forget
I'm
Carson
saying
Beck,
what-
everybody.
What others, yes, Carson Beck as well.
Carson Beck's.
And believe it, folks, Arizona State's very own. There's a lot of names in there, obviously, but
The one that shocked me that you brought up was Nussmeier. Like I don't
trust me, it's shocking me too.
I don't think Arch leaves unless he wins a natty. I truly don't. I think
yeah,
I think the
he'd have to
Manning
have the hell of a season. Like he'd have to have a.
I think the Manning family has kind of instilled in him, hey, you're there to learn. Once it's your time, we want you to take 2 seasons to make it your time and then come out. Because he's guaranteed, if he comes out 2 years from now,
Right.
he's guaranteed number 1 overall. More than likely.
I mean, he could still be guaranteed it even by next year.
Yeah.
If he
It all
shows up
depends.
and shows out.
I mean-
All right. We were talking a lot about the future of the NFL. Let's talk about winners and losers of the combine, because 2 of these positions are not like the others. We talk about it next here on Blow the Whistle on Sportstown Chicago.
This is York for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just a small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. We even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have it near you. Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
Back to the grindstone here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com. I'm with Tyler Butterball Buterball, Andrew, the mouth of the Midwest, Valentin.
Mouth of the Midwest.
That confirmed.
I think we're going to go with it.
Okay. So now my nickname's even longer.
Yeah.
I gotta
Pepe,
remember that.
Mouth of the Midwest. Oh my God, that's a tongue twister.
Andrew Pepe, mouth of the Midwest, Valentin.
Mao.
Mao? Oh, he said mouth.
I'm
mouth of Midwest.
Oh. We're doing
we're doing acronyms.
We're doing acronyms. What does the first B stand for?
Business. Well, welcome back. This weekend was enlightening for those people that don't typically, dive into the deep waters of the NFL Combine. I enjoyed it greatly.
It was good.
I had fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Love to see the faces of the 40s when they're running.
Two. I would say 2 sets of positions showed out, ladies and gentlemen. The offensive lineman, that was sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just sick. You should not be able to run under a 5 as a lineman.
And you
That should
had
be illegal.
5 guys that ran under
Will
5.
Campbell was one of them too.
Will Campbell was
Jesus
one of them.
criminy.
Tried to tell y'all.
And
No, I'm not. I'm not denying.
saying you guys. I'm saying everyone who's like, come on, you can't be that good.
And the loudest 40-yard dash we've heard was Armand Mimbu. Mizzou offense tackle.
That is the sound a man makes when when a big man runs and he's in pain. That's what you make. That's the sound you make.
Well, did he DQ on his first run or something like
I think
that?
so.
Or fall? It was like 1.97, and I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah, it was. That's nuts.
He glitched.
I
Teleported.
So let me ask you, Andrew, because for the most part,
Mhm.
no offense to you,
I know these guys.
you do,
Okay.
but
He knows more.
we deep dive.
I mean, I've been watching these guys since college, so I've been following
Andrew,
following a lot of them, and some of them I actually know because I've worked with them in recruiting.
So the kid from Missouri,
Yes.
if and this is a big if,
Mhm.
if Banks and Johnson are both gone at 10 for the Bears,
Mhm.
would you take that kid at 10?
At 10,
Be a little bit of a stretch, I know.
it's
but
a stretch. From what I saw, he's a highly effective blocker. He's a big reason why Missouri's run game was so effective, why Cook was able to stand back there and have the protection he did. 10's just such a reach for him. I feel like there's other tackles that I think you should really. Milliam is probably the other guy coming out of West Virginia because he's just a man beast because he just seems to kind of engulf guys. That's the only other tackle I would maybe take in the first round. The other one would be Simmons from Ohio State.
I've heard
But the problem with Josh Simmons is that he's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
And he won't be ready until He won't be ready until his pro day in April. So you would be taking a bit of a risk on him because he's a guy who's coming off of a
Well,
pretty
if he
serious
goes,
injury.
if he goes on his pro day and he looks good on his pro day,
That's the big thing. If you like what you see on his pro day, and he's interviewed very well, a lot of people say very intelligent guy. He's got the look. He's got
that's
the
what
size.
you needed a left tackle. You need a dude that's smart
You need
and a mauler.
one person I think went way out of the box on him and was like, "This is the next Orlando Pace." I was like,
Stop.
I mean, that's what I was like. I was like, "Whoa, guy, okay,
Stop.
you're not gonna find another left tackle who's like, I control how the game goes."
He's the next Willie Roaf.
Yeah, you're
Could
not
be.
gonna
Stop.
you're not gonna find guys like those again. Maybe I don't know.
Now, what
Larry-
about
Next
I'm
Larry
hearing
Allen.
a lot of buzz with this kid, even though he's a guard, Tyler Booker from Bama.
He's a monster.
I've heard we had Cole Kubelik on last week,
Yeah.
and he said guy is the best offensive lineman in this draft.
He could be.
Like
he-
he's got the size. He ran a 5.38, but I mean, as a guard, you don't need to be running under 5.
Here's what I would say too about the 40-yard dash. It almost means nothing anymore except for those first 10 yards, I would say. Those first 10-yard
twitch.
sprints, that will tell you. Yes, quick twitch. It's that
Mhm.
explosiveness of how you get off, what top speed you're reaching at that point. That's the difference maker in how you should look at the 40-yard. Tyler Booker is unbelievably fast from his stance to a pull.
Mhm.
He can jump on mammoth to people.
Has he played tackle before too?
Yes.
Okay, I thought
But he has mostly been guard.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Mostly been
I
guard.
I want to bring this up to you because this is another thing that we discussed.
Yeah.
Tyler and Nick are all about going out and getting a veteran center.
Okay.
I said, why? There are 3 guys in this draft that I know of
Mhm.
that are going to start in the NFL. Why not get them so you don't have to pay a free agent and let them grow with Caleb?
Okay.
Which side do you lean on?
I mean, the cheaper option is obviously to go with the rookie centers, right?
Yeah.
That makes the most sense.
And you can get them in what, the 3rd or 4th round, the 4th or 5th round this year?
probably. I mean, there'll be some guys maybe there in the second.
Ohio State,
Ohio
kid
State.
from the Ohio State.
Bama's got a kid.
Yeah, they got someone.
I'm trying to pull up the names as we're talking here.
Jared
Sorry.
Wilson from Georgia.
Yes, Jared. You've got first you've got Gray Zabel from North Dakota State.
That kid is a
Is he
beast.
is he
in
projected?
He's in everything.
Oh, okay.
He's the everything.
I wasn't sure about that because I know they had him playing tackle
tackle.
Yeah.
at the Shrine game.
Because he's 6'6", 305. But
unit.
he was.
Did you see his transformation from when he started in college to what he is now? Is that not the greatest thing
It's
ever?
Insanity.
He's
I need those genes.
He's I would say he's the FCS, right? FCS version of Bruce Matthews. He
Yeah.
just plays everywhere. He's argued to be maybe the top center still too. I know there's Ohio State, Seth McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin, yeah.
Seth McLaughlin's there. You've got Joe Monheim from USC because he's dominant and he's quick too with the pivot. And all these guys, by the way, too, folks, they're smart as whips. Like they all tested high on intelligence.
But I guess my thing is that, all right, last draft, we had Jackson Powers Johnson, who was considered, aside from the kid from West Virginia, the best center coming out of this draft.
Right.
Jackson Powers Johnson didn't even play center in the league.
No.
He was sitting at guard.
He was moved.
He started at guard. So, I mean,
That's all right because my boy from West Virginia.
Frazier's doing the job.
Frazier's doing the job. Yeah. I mean,
But see, that's what I'm saying.
but I think because the Bears, they struggled so bad at center where they had guys in the league that have played it before, but they weren't good centers. You need a true, and Fries is out there. He will. Oh,
He's
should
a
be out.
tackle.
I thought he's a center. He's played center. Oh no, I'm thinking of Dahlman.
Dahlman is actually would be the best pickup because
That's my thing.
veteran center with
No.
young quarterback is
Yes.
not a bad pairing.
No,
And
you're not allowed to have him.
Well, I get it. You want to keep him. Listen, I understand. He
Yeah,
made
too
he
bad.
made Bijan Robinson what we saw him last year. I get it.
And I use
I'm not arguing against you.
I
get it.
use the example as that I believe that I don't think Jalen Hurts would be as good as he is now. I'm not taking away from his talent and everything like that, but having Jason Kelsey, arguably one of the best, if not the best center that's played in the NFL,
Right.
down there, being that guy that like knows the game and like knows it at this pace. That's where I think Bears need with Caleb Williams is a veteran guy that's played this position in the NFL for how X amount of years.
Or do you bring in the kid from USC who Caleb already has a connection with?
He does know Moinheim. He does know him.
And yes.
And this is also, too, though, you have to think about who's the guys that are going to be coaching him, right? Because they brought in a really solid-looking coaching staff, but can you then coach up the rookies, whoever you take? Can you get that guy ready to say, you're going to start, you're going to be there every game. I need you to be the anchor of this offensive line because we need you.
I think there's at least 3 or 4 in this
don't
draft.
Disagree.
Rooster's the offensive line coach right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's been noted as a very good guy who teaches good technique.
Yeah.
And also is like the Bears had back in 2006 with Olin Kreutz and guys. He wants his dudes together.
Yeah.
He wants brotherhood. He wants camaraderie. That's what you need on the offensive line. That's why the Eagles look so good. That's why the Cowboys have looked so good. That's why offensive lines for a lot of the best teams have been so good. They hang out together. They stand together. They make a fist. Mm-hmm. It's not individual. It's all together.
By the way, when they did the comparison of great linemen to run 40s, the fact that Lynn Johnson is so far out ahead of everyone else disgusts me on so many levels.
He's another one who's like, I'm going to play guard. And then they're like, we need you to play tackle. He's like, all right. And he just becomes a Hall of Fame tackle. Just like it's nothing. He's going to be first ballot. Like, come on.
Going a little outside of it, but shout out to my boy Ty Robinson from Nebraska.
Yeah,
showing off and people. Yeah, I didn't expect. I didn't know he was that fast.
You had a couple of Nebraska guys that showed up and showed out.
Yeah, Ty Robinson running a 4.83.
Yeah,
big boy.
We have to get to probably the best showing I've ever seen collectively from a running back class.
Yeah, my God.
Ever.
They want to prove something.
You got some boys that you can get some starters in the 3rd round. 2nd and 3rd round. I mean,
that's where they should go.
Because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of getting drafted in the 1st round.
Genty's going first.
He's going first.
He is going first, but I put it on Twitter, and I know I got some stuff back from people through my messages. Thank you guys so much. Not you guys, other people, of course. I said he shouldn't go past he should go after the 20th pick.
Really?
I don't think he should be like anybody who's saying the Bears should take him at 10 or the Cowboys should take him at 12. They've got other needs they need to fill before
Cowboys
they take
will
back.
take him at 12.
Cowboys will take him at 12.
I don't think they should. I think they.
What else? Other than defense. What else? Cowboys need.
They need a guard. Side, they need another tackle too, in case Tyler Smith goes down with an injury, like guard again.
Oh, it's Jerry though. So
they also need to consider.
We need a splash, boys.
They also need to consider taking another wide receiver, maybe getting another cornerback, possibly a safety. They also may need help at linebacker. I mean, that's the thing. You asked me what they need. They need a lot. Running back is not the concern?
Is there anybody that surprised you?
Out of the running backs?
Yeah.
Trevor Etienne. I mean, obviously, we've all known him, and he's been a hot name over in Georgia. But compared to these other guys, I didn't expect him to be as fast as he was, and he showed out pretty damn good with his speed, his hands.
His brother says he's a better receiver than he is, so that'll tell you all you need to know.
How much I believe that, but
I believe it. That's all he really did.
The guy that I'm looking out for, which I think could be I guess you could say a steal depending where you draft it, but Caleb Johnson from Iowa.
Everybody loves Caleb Johnson.
I think
he's a block. He's a block. If you get him in the 3rd or 4th round, yeah.
He ranked, or was it him or Omarion Hampton that ranked 2nd in? Because obviously Janty was 1st in yards after contact.
I think it was Johnson.
Yeah, it was probably Johnson.
I think it was Johnson.
People are saying that
when you don't have an offensive line, you're getting hit behind the line.
You are the whole offense.
And the thing is why I look out for the Bears. Look at getting this kid. He's got a same kind of built and style like David Montgomery. And I think Ben Johnson's kind of like he wants that.
Sure, but as long as you can get him like in the 4th round.
I'm sorry.
Like that's the thing. You have other.
I don't think there's a difference between him
and Roschon
Johnson. Or not Johnson, him, Jenkins, or Henderson. To me,
I would take Henderson.
I would take Henderson.
Travion Henderson is your everything can do running back that I don't think you need to have the
But if
thunder
you
and
want-
lightning. You
but
can
if
have
you-
lightning and lightning.
But if you want a bowling ball, Jenkins is the way to go.
Yes. Or
Judkins.
Or Jenkins.
Judkins
Yeah.
or Martinez from Miami.
Yeah.
Because he's
kid,
235 pounds and nothing stops him.
Everything.
What would you?
He's
What'd you?
Najee Davenport in a uniform.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the Virginia Tech guy?
I thought he was
How do you
Because
say-
he came out.
I just
He
wanna
came
know-
out of nowhere.
How do you say his name?
To me,
I gotta find his name really quick. Sorry.
BHAYSHULTUTEN.
Tudum, I think it is.
Tottenham.
Tudum.
Tudden.
He's
Gleichel?
athletic. Gleichel. Weichel Tudum.
Oh.
He's athletic.
Yeah.
He is.
He's like Boston Scott, I think. You use him, you can put him in as a weapon, put him out at wide receiver. Very Noel Devine. I mean, other wide receiver, West Virginia guys, right? Terrell Austin, Noel Devine, guys you can be like, put him out wide, put him in the backfield. We can use him as a weapon, catch the ball, run it, kick return, punt return. Fast, obviously. I mean, he had a heck of a day, but I don't know what, 5th, 6th round, you might be able to get yourself a steal there.
Yeah.
That's that. I mean, he's a number 2 back. I
Could
think
be a
on
Tariq
everything.
Cohen-esque
Yes.
kind of.
What do you guys
perfect.
think?
Yes.
This guy kind of fell off this season. 'Cause he
Howard?
was- Ollie Gordon.
Sorry, we're not.
Ollie Gordon, yeah.
Ollie had a complete drop
Once
off
again, though,
compared to
this comes
Had
back
a bad
to
year.
he did.
bad year. 1, 2. It also comes back to the question that I have about Genty. How much tread is going to be on those tires?
Yeah.
That's my question for all these backs.
Because well, Ollie
Other
Gordon,
than
Ollie Gordon and Genty especially,
Right.
because
That was
they
their
were getting
offense.
fed the ball like 30 times on an average.
Johnson too. I mean, as much as you say, well, look at the tackles they broke and they don't go down. It's not about them going down. It's about the hits they take.
Yeah.
Anybody surprise you quarterback wise, Tyler?
Will
Jackson
Howard.
Dart a little bit. Will Howard not so much.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that as a
Oh.
joke because he was that. God, that dude.
He
just
did not
dropped.
look good.
You know who looked
He
good?
did not look
He
good.
looked bad. He looked real bad.
Sloat.
Yeah.
Sloat looked really good.
He did. What was
Remind
his
me?
name? God, what was his
Quinn
name?
Ewers didn't look too bad.
Give me the school.
Quinn Ewers was fine. Hennigan from Memphis.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He put in work. He had a great 40. I mean, looked explosive. The arm is there. The accuracy is there. Probably not going to be your top prospect, but could be that like
There's-
4th, 5th round dude you take. Backup quarterback, maybe moves into that starting spot at some point. He
There's
could be.
there's a lot of execs saying Sloat could be that dude that just walks right on and goes, "This is my team." Kind of
What
Kinda
school did he go
guy.
to?
It's possible.
Texas Tech
Oh, that kid. Yes.
Yeah.
kid
okay.
who has an elite arm, but could never stay healthy.
I mean,
ever.
Tyler Show looked pretty good. I mean, as far as quarterbacks go, Tyler Show looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions still on Riley Leonard.
Yeah.
So many
Oh,
questions.
really?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, tight end, buddy.
Wide receiver, something. Um, Cal McCord, I think, is like I looked at.
He'll be the back.
You know what? That wouldn't be a bad.
I'm telling you.
Not a
I
bad
was actually
spot for
thinking
him.
Dylan Gabriel would be that guy to be the backup to Brock Purdy
Yeah.
because he just like again he was like a lot of these guys I looked at their combine as far as quarterbacks go and I went okay they look fine but
Yeah.
this is again you're just kind of throwing to the receiver. You're not. There's no real competition here. We've seen
You're
their
not
tape.
making reads or anything like
The
that.
only worry I
Right.
have about Jackson Dart is the same worry that I had about the quarterback that was at Ole Miss previous to Jackson Dart. And I can't who was with the Panthers.
Matt
Corral?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that still a one read offense?
That's fair.
Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
At least with Jackson Dart, you can say he worked at USC prior to
Very true.
Lincoln Riley. Now he's worked at Ole Miss under Lane Kiffin. he at least has the arm talent you can see to make every throw.
Yeah.
Those long balls had no air under him
No,
at all.
because he's doing it effortlessly. He's like barely putting anything behind it, and yet it's still going 60 yards.
Yeah, there was no air behind that, or no air underneath those balls.
Why did
He
JT
just
Daniels
zipped it.
ever think he was going to beat out this kid?
You
moron.
All right. I'm sure we'll talk more about this the closer that the draft gets. But when we come back, it's time to go off the rails, and it's going to be an elimination chamber segment, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports. Longtime fan, sports is like life. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
High school sports is here, and SportsOnChicago.com. We are ready to provide the best high school sports live coverage all across Northern Illinois. From the first kickoff of high school football to the final spike of high school volleyball, we at SportsOnChicago.com are ready to bring you high school sports live. SportsOnChicago.com and STC Friday Night Lights in a league of our own.
Blow the whistle. Going off the rails.
The train!
Choo-choo, mother trucker.
Watch your language.
That's right. No. Off the rails today, the Elimination Chamber. But before we do that, Nick and I have to express our thanks and gratitude to I want to call him MCU for some reason. MCW West Championship Wrestling. We had the pleasure of being there filming some stuff for them, filming some back promos. I was actually on color commentary until
suplexed it out the
yeah. Great. The guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It was-
rough.
well, it didn't help that we were on the stage and like when you stepped and music was playing, stage was vibrating.
Or just like this tiny enclosed. It was almost a silo. We were.
It kind of.
It's fun out there.
So all these metal. It was nice metal walls.
It's an airport. It's airport.
Right.
Oh, was it?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice
we were
open field and back.
So yeah, we need the wind.
Yeah.
The wind that
Well,
day was
It was
insane.
like 50 mile per hour. It was like all over the place. It was windy. It didn't help us getting out on the highway. I was like, whew. Yes, like I swear I'm not under the influence.
Oh, it was
We're
on Friday. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
taking one of those little scooters home, and he was even windy as hell out by us. And I'm just like, I come through this tunnel of like an open intersection. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, whoa.
I'm not swerving.
Whoa.
Whoa, rewind.
God.
What? From the city you told? Or
Oh, no. I got off the train.
it's like
No. I got off
gotta be so great.
I got the train, and then
The looks that Tyler would have been
Oh
getting.
my God.
Beep, beep.
Sorry, when I was on the express car, I was next to us.
Yeah.
I've driven before. That's worse.
Completely shocked Ethan. Completely. Ethan was like, "How do you?"
It wasn't. It was painless
Yeah,
kind of
you-
getting out.
Son of a.
Really?
Oh.
PC. Gonna be
Jesus.
shown that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. In the main event of maybe someone that was cool 20 years ago.
Well, and
Right.
that's what I liked about MCWs.
Yeah.
They started okay.
Right.
It's nice. I like that.
I mean-
Favorites from that night.
I've seen Axel Rico before, so that the last we've seen.
Schultz.
Yeah.
Schultz is awesome.
Yeah.
Because Schultz and Frankie started talking back and forth, and Frankie was doing his Frankie talk, and Schultz tried to, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Sucked in.
It's awesome.
From the perspective, really nice. You know, students like it. Obviously, all this was my first time shooting wrestling. Professional wrestling. To see a good vantage point area.
I was we're using Trods and Winchell.
We had wireless for the one that we did. We were kind of trying to spot. Didn't want to bring too much equipment and not have
Work the event at all. I was supposed to one hard camera,
and that's it.
and that's it.
Ah.
Well,
So we figured
it's
we'll-
small venue. That makes
We'll
sense.
integrate
Yeah.
their hard camera. We'll get a couple of our own, and then probably at least 2 wireless cameras to run around. And like I said, that adds more opportunity for
That's actually
students.
really good, yeah.
Adding, it get like I want to because at a certain point they took us to the back for the promos, and there was no other like candidate. One promo, and it was a lot of talk outside the door. you just can't really deal with. So you would have to
Echo.
or tell everybody, hey, quiet on set. We're shooting a promo.
See, Tyler, I love this. This is what makes me so happy.
As simple as that. So, I mean,
well, and I told Andrew he should come and check it out with us sometime.
Oh yeah, I would say
100%.
everybody in this building should come.
Oh yeah, I want to check it out.
Yeah. So
why this is not a thing that should be installed here at Illinois Media School?
And I mean, talk to Ruth about it. We're going to get it set up, and
Yeah.
I would say
We're
not
working
even
in
have it be a
conjunction with
sports
them.
emphasis program. Have it just be open for everybody because
Yeah,
it's only going to
great.
be once a month.
you're
maybe.
gonna learn how to shoot a live event.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
And it can then go into you being able to shoot concerts.
Yes.
You know, go to venues and be able to shoot weddings, things of that
It
nature.
expands your ability to be able to know how to produce an event, how to work an event, shoot an event, all these things.
The
that
one
you can
thing,
put in there.
the one thing that I truly, you know how I am about audio.
Yeah. Oh no.
You know, because someone doesn't know how to have good audio for their wedding.
Again, that wasn't me.
But to me, but now this is me because I'm on the stage and we're
Right.
just getting blasted. The music and everything sounded a little hot, and so the mics were definitely hot.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
if
it
we
was-
can help them
when I
control
was
that as
looking
well.
over the footage, like it was loud enough that I didn't really have to do anything to to it. So
Did
it
they
was-
have like a board that you could work with? In
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all up in the control center, and I got connected with them, and
Oh,
he's
nice.
like, what can you do? I was like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
And he starts rattling things off. I was like, dude, we have cameras galore. We can bring everything that you need to this, help you out in whatever way you need.
You have a
and
live show to interview your wrestlers.
yeah,
So-
and I want to wait to
Yeah,
to,
right,
to
right,
pitch,
right.
you know, Bad Karma Wrestling. We're absolutely going to invite some of the wrestlers to school
That'd be
to
great.
do interview
Yeah.
them into Saturday. I know February. I understand this, but best pay-per-view in 6 months.
for
It's like a little, like a little.
No. This is an ongoing thing.
I know.
Listen, I get that you are more of a professional wrestling fan than a sports entertainment
no,
fan.
again, I totally spent this tonight. I'll tell you that from start to finish.
You started off.
We always say we grade on the WWE curve, and that's what I did.
To start it off as hot as they did with Jade Cargill coming down to the ring, and
That was crazy.
you can say she's stiff still because she didn't take any punishment, so you don't really see, but she did.
That's cool.
The basic great, the slimming of the cage was great.
The facial, just the
It's the women's one.
Which makes me wonder, and I'll just throw this to you, and this is something we can dive more into on Bad Karma Wrestling.
Friday, 11:30 p.m. Central Time. Check it out.
Hey, yeah.
11,
Fox Sports, baby.
11.
11.
Yeah.
We're trying to go at 11.
yeah.
It was Bianca's upset because she's in Naomi sequence, or was it Naomi who actually did
I
it?
think that was the guilty conscience thing or something. Like
That's it.
yeah, that's the question that everyone.
Because you're not going to have two faces.
Yeah, exactly.
I would.
It
has to be-
Mania.
Yeah.
That's
So-
true.
Are they still trying to? Is it trying to be a triple threat now, or,
No.
or is it Rhea Ripley versus
one on
Io
one.
to determine?
Io and Rhea go tonight.
Okay, that's what I
It
thought.
better be the freaking. Cody's once and all that, and I'm just like,
It's there.
which that might, out of all the things that happened, that the most thing of them all. That they just didn't leave that up. I didn't expect that from the WWE. This is WWE going, okay, it's time.
Gloves are off.
We're taking the curve.
Yeah.
Now, and we're going a little bit more back, not fully to the attitude.
It's also
era,
that
but-
just that it would taken away so much if he did say.
Yeah.
Do we have a worst match of the night?
Uh, probably Nia Jax and Candice LeRae versus.
It is not pleasant.
No.
It just
I'm sorry,
and I was waiting for another nip slip. She's already had one. I've tried her multiple times.
Yeah.
She needs more supportive top.
Yeah.
I think she's a phenomenal athlete. I think she's a phenomenal WWE star.
Yeah.
I just like be conscious of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I must get a text from Butterball.
Yeah.
During the Kevin Owens Zayn match, going, holy crap.
Yeah.
I know. I was into it.
Where was the blood? Yeah, barbed wire. No one's bleeding.
That's
Yeah, he was profuse.
Oh, okay.
I wanted
Because
red.
he
Wasn't as bad as Cody Rhodes
wanted
getting
red
smacked
wedding
in the
blood.
belt.
Yeah.
That was
That spot in his face went right into the bar. I went, oh no.
That was
It took a second to
Yeah.
get. But
Ugh.
then again, I was like, yeah, unsanctioned, okay, no lights, whatever. If they wanted to do, fine. But yeah, obviously, better brawls and better.
But these were none of the ones that you had that feeling.
Yeah.
Like there was no, oh look, a drop
Yeah.
to hold.
So Sami Zayn lost, and then out comes Randy.
So
Thought we were getting
Oh.
the punt kick again, and then that's
God.
so looking like Randy, Kevin Owens for Mania.
Street fight.
Yeah.
That Kevin's been doing
Oh, yeah.
things the most.
Can I just say how heartbroken I was when I saw that? Like just a little bit. I'm all for it. I'm just reading. I didn't know how to do it
On our show, and I said it can only go one of two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're going to get Peacemaker Cena,
Yeah.
or what's boys?
Oh God, Lord.
Yeah.
No.
They're in a complete cold
That was
sweat.
awesome.
I still can't think of it.
Homelander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you were going to get Homelander Cody. Which either way I would have been
Star-Lord,
fine.
I gotta pull something apart. I want to see McIntyre. Want to see McIntyre get his hands on Punk, and they're going to stretch. Oh, once McIntyre is just.
I mean, how long can you keep that long going?
Seeing
You want the
Logan
guy to
Paul
keep
getting his
stalking him.
bashed into the chamber.
Oh yeah, that,
like over and over. That was funny. That was great.
I got to give him credit. He goes out there and he performs.
He does.
Every time he goes in and he goes hard.
Okay, so
I like Logan Paul talking to fake Drake.
Oh yeah.
that was
should
good.
we you do realize that Logan Paul has never been in a match where he's the general
Yeah.
ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All those guys in there, generals.
No, yeah. Of course.
They're telling him exactly what he's
Right.
doing when he's doing it.
Like I said, I'm giving him credit because to be in that situation, even still, The fact that you're going to get thrown around. You're going to get beat up.
I wanted a little more pissed offedness from Drew when he got pinned by Daniel.
Yeah, he was shambles. He later tweeted out that picture.
The moment.
That moments.
Yeah.
Feed.
Something set up because he was supposed to be the heel when Rock and him first met Jorts, and I was just like, oh god.
One more like Make-A-Wish. He met a couple fans backstage, and my favorite comment was true. It's just having that little towel that said the last time is now, meeting these kids that are sick and dying. Just like, nah, read the room, Cena. We should have just left the towel at the door.
Yeah.
To me, could it have been presented a little bit better? Sure. But for what is, but see, once again, you're an anomaly in your generation, just like MJF's an anomaly of your generation. Most people in your generation aren't going back 20 to 25 years to watch Hogan turn and form the NWO. So this is, of course, shocking as hell.
Yeah.
The greatest baby face of all time has now turned heel.
Over 7,000 days as a face.
20 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. 21, I think.
It's great. Fine. And
that
John
was
Cena is, and I love every moment of it.
That was the text. It's like, why are you crying so loud? Like a type of dad. It's
I
like,
got
why-
it in my office when I was watching and I was getting some work done, and I peeked over, and that's when I see Cena take down Cody Rhodes, and everyone says they're like, you had the loudest scream of whoa! Like,
One of the funniest
echoes.
is scene of The Rock, and then next to it is a picture of Ryan Poles hugging Justin Fields. I thought that was so good.
I'll say this. The significance, though, I realized the significance of punching Cody with his dad's watch. So that was pretty cool.
I didn't pick up necessarily the whole point. I was like, damn, they're just going to beat him up with a Rolex? That's expensive.
Yeah, I know.
In something, I think McAfee showed up late.
I think McAfee might have been drunk.
Michael was giving him
I think McAfee was probably.
He
he was really
he
hard.
sounded like he was a little bit like up into it.
He was really pissed overall that the Canadian fans were booing the national.
Yeah.
He was
was
pissed
bad.
about that. I don't think he got him off to a good start there. And personally, I mean, that was kind of disgusting either way, but whatever. I'm kind of on his. No,
Gotta wait and
Not
see.
really.
Gotta
Yeah,
wait and see.
you gotta wait and
We
see.
have to see what the payoff
It
is.
is a monumental moment,
Yes.
certainly in
For you,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, where were you when Hogan, Andre, and
Mhm.
everything like that, and
Or when he took out
when-
Randy Orton
yeah.
for the NWO and all that stuff.
Oh god, Randy Savage.
All right, baby, we love
God
you.
bless you. What else you guys want to talk about?
Oh, man, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want to air dirty laundry means, but the Kansas City thing that I talked about did happen. In good news, I have a little bit new level of getting back to work and things done. So thanks, folks.
Let me just say this from the bottom of my heart about goddamn timing.
Feeling good, looking good.
You got the
Feeling
belt, you got
good.
the bling, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
You're gonna
Dustin?
You're gonna buy yourself a ring? You guys do
Shifu.
rings?
I might, never know. I might give me a
Make
couple.
Dustin buy it.
Yeah,
By the
I
way,
will.
Mouth of the Midwest.
$225.
There we go.
Mouth of the Midwest.
Mouth of the Yeah, there you go.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
No, again, last thing about it. MCW again. And just thank you to everyone that had out there. That was
awesome. Really, I
for that and all his glory that we have. I mean, it just
Everyone-
We were talking about it as we were doing commentary.
No, just
gonna dress up like fest.
Here's the problem with me wearing white. You know, because if I cut myself, my girlfriend will have a poo fit.
Yeah.
She freaks out when
She
there's
hates
blood. Anytime. Pitching you guys right
his
now.
forehead's gonna look like Abdullah the Butcher.
Congratulations.
That's an old joke.
Yeah.
Shut up. I've been.
Jeez.
I don't know why that was just so
I
funny.
usually hold back. Yeah.
You don't have to hold back.
Well, I know,
Not
but
like I go home
I
and
don't-
cry.
There's pillow of tears.
Compliments, congratulations to my ex-wife Allie. She gave birth last Monday, I believe,
Nice.
to a healthy baby boy named Cooper.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats. Sounds
Oh.
fun.
Coop.
If I can say so too, congratulations to our boy Tom McKinney.
Yeah,
His
they-
lovely
they-
wife Sarah. They've had their third child, Dakota.
Stop
Beautiful.
making babies, Tom.
Well,
the
they're-
world does not need that many of you walking around the
He's
earth.
currently in talks with Amber to try and figure out how cheap it is to live out in Indiana. So they're looking to get a house. So
Jesus. Everybody's going to be out in Indiana in the and we're gonna have to go and
Probably.
take David Double D Dykstra,
Tyler Butterball, Beaterball.
Andrew Pepe Valentin.
No gimmicks. Nick Johnston.
we'll have
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price.